questions. And Jared turned it into a group. Start.
Corey, for you to play this first playoff game in this stadium period, it's been a long time since the Rangers have experienced this. For you to have been such an integral part of it and kind of the vision, when you signed here, have you thought about, or do you even think about what it's like to kind of see this? Do you appreciate what it's like to have this experience right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all really excited in this clubhouse. Just knowing where we've been, knowing what we've accomplished this year, excites everybody. We know our fans are excited, ownership's excited, front office excited, coaches. Everybody's really excited about this moment. We don't take it lightly.
We talked so much that last day in Baltimore about your 5 walks. I know you're very steady in your approach at the plate, but is it difficult for you when they're really just not giving you anything to hit? Like, you want to, knock one in?
Yeah, I think we all know I like to swing, so I probably would have not bet that I would have been the person to do that. So, but yeah, this team's really good at staying within themselves. We've talked about it all year about passing the baton, and I feel like we've done that extremely well this postseason, and you're just trying to continue those at-bats.
Back there, on your left, Corey.
Corey, beyond the contract, what did you like about the Rangers' vision when you signed here?
I'm a pretty meticulous guy, so just to hear how thought out and planned they were, it wasn't just my year, it was what they saw in the minor leagues, what they saw in future free agents. It was just kind of the whole atmosphere process. And to go back to the playoffs, when I won in LA, it was a long time since they won. I saw what that did for a fan base, and when I heard that they had never won, that was extremely exciting for me, to be a part of something and to be able to be on the ground floor and build that.
What do you remember about playing here in the 2020 postseason, and was there a palpable difference, empty versus even the limited fans that are there for the World Series?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Just like you played a playoff game in an empty ballpark.
Yeah.
What was that like? And then when the fans were allowed in, how much different was it?
Yeah, you almost got used to it just because of the year, right? We didn't have fans, and then even the first round, I think it was like 1,500 or 5,000 people. It's a noticeable difference, right? You don't need the background sound, the fake noise, stuff like that. So when people are there, you feel the atmosphere more. You feel the sense in the air, whatever you want to call it. So we're all extremely excited about how this atmosphere is going to be tonight.
When you talked to Chris and John about coming here, and you talked about how meticulous you were and what you want to know what they were doing, did they give you a time frame for when they expect it to be challenging for something like this? And have y'all met that time frame? Are you ahead of it?
Yeah, they pretty much met everything that they told me.
Questions for Corey? Ken?
You say you're a meticulous guy, and we can see that in how you go about your day. Have you always been like that, or is it something you've kind of grown into in your professional career?
I've definitely always been like that. I think I just tinkered a little more when you're younger. You don't really know yourself yet. You don't know what makes you tick, stuff like that. So it's definitely kind of solidified in the last couple of years for sure.
Adam, right here.
So I guess the theme today is your meticulousness, but in the vision, when you played here in 2020, you liked the stadium, you liked it a lot, you liked the hitting background, and you talk about that stuff. Is there, in your mind, a noticeable difference in this stadium with the roof open versus the roof closed?
I don't know if I've played enough with it open. It's a really cool ballpark both ways, though. I actually really enjoy when the roof is open visually and just aesthetically. But from a performance aspect, I don't know, to be honest with you.
And if you were putting into words like what it is you like hitting about the stadium, you've always kind of said the backdrop, you like the backdrop. Can you elaborate on that a little bit about what kind of, in your field of vision, what makes sense?
I think it's just the space. It's the spatial thing, we're not too wide like foul ground territory, and then it gets really big going out, so it doesn't feel like the guy's right on top of you.
Stay right here.
We talk a lot about young guys like Evan Carter and Josh Young, what they've done this playoffs and this whole season, but what has impressed you about Leotarz and the way he's played this year and this postseason included?
Yeah, just Leo in general, you know, had a really good year last year and then built on it. You know, that's impressive to do. Stayed within himself, you know, he had a little bit of struggles, I think it was August, but stuck to what he knows makes him work, and that's a really hard thing to do. You know, when you're struggling, you try and do anything and everything, but he stayed within himself and got back on track, and he's been huge. He's been a catalyst for this team September and going into the playoffs.
Back on your right.
Hey Corey, we've heard recently about the propensity for creative music inside the clubhouse. Can you talk about what you like about how this team is carrying itself, and are there any similarities to that 2020 Dodgers team?
Yeah, you know, it's something to bond over, I guess is the right way. That's the hard thing about teams, right? You have people coming in and out, and how do you gel? How do you come together? How do you fight for each other? And you find little ways on different teams, and that's one of our ways. You know, it's kind of just a random thing that everybody started singing to one day, and it's just kind of built on itself.
Back left,
Corey,
Corey.
lastly, if you would call yourself meticulous, how would you describe Josh, a guy who, young like yourself, came in, has fought back from injury this year, and just doesn't seem to be frazzled by any of the big moments?
Yeah, same thing. You know, he probably found out who he was faster than I did. He's built a really good plan for himself, and he doesn't get off of it. He knows there's going to be things that he has to still learn, which is impressive, but he knows who he is, he knows what he wants to accomplish, and he goes out and does it.
Stay right there.
Corey, we always talk about veterans teaching the rookies stuff, but what has the rookies like Evan and Josh taught you?
Not so much what they teach, it's just what they do for you, right? Like you get through a long season and then you need that spark. We've had a couple of those throughout the years. You know, you need that extra little energy, that extra little edge, that just a little more hustle, you know, that little thing that just pushes you and reminds you of where you are in the season and what you're looking for, and it's extremely beneficial.
Go right here.
Corey, Marcus made the comment that, you know, he's observed your work ethic for the last couple of seasons, and then now that the postseason is hit, it's on a new level. Is that by design, or do you notice that, or is that something that he's noticed?
Are you asking me about him or about?
Well, about what, do you feel like you've taken it up a notch as far as all the things that you do and how, I guess, locked in you are?
Yeah, everything's just heightened, right? You're not trying to do anything different, you're more focused. That's not the right word, but it's just more intense. Everything matters, you know, it's a different game. It really is. There's no way around it. So you have to have a different edge, different approach.
Go to Evan right here.
On the subject of Marcus, 162 games, started every game. You've started pretty much every game, you've been healthy. But when you look at the guy next to you on the diamond, in this day and age, plays 162, pretty much plays every inning.
Yep.
What stands out for you about that achievement?
Achievement's the right word. People just don't do that. Whether it's mentally, physically, whatever, you know, people can't withstand that. And for him to be able to do that and show up every day and go through everything, go through his process, compete, play, not want to come out of games, that's a hard lesson, or a hard thing to do, and it's a great lesson for young players to show up to work, you know, and he does it every day.
Do you think that, the follow-up on that is, do you think there are guys who have kind of picked up on that? I mean, and kind of, I think in Oakland, he talked about some of the older guys that he kind of followed. Do you think there are younger guys here that are also kind of following that work ethic, that same kind of?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And people are going to do it in different ways, obviously. Marcus has his routine that works for him, just like Josh has his. And just being able to do it every day, that's the hard thing. And that's what Marcus is showing people how to do and what to do. It's really a special.
More Steven on your left.
Corey, with Marcus, I mean, you two came in together, obviously, and I don't know how much you even really knew each other before you got here, except for that time way back then, but talk about how the relationship has developed and how different it is now than it was when you guys first got here and got started.
I'd say open is the right word, just dialogue wise, right? Like you meet somebody new, you're always tentative, you're always don't want to offend, step on his toes, take away from what he does, stuff like that. You know, you learn each other. We've learned each other over the last 2 years, and we're in a great spot. You know, I know where he's going to be, he knows where I'm going to be, and that's just the gel and the camaraderie that you need to build with your double play partner and the guy that you're going to play with every day. It's the same thing with Josh Young, you know, to be able to know what he's going to do, know how he's going to react. That's just what you need to do for a team.
Finish up with Jeff right here.
What have you thought of your season to date?
I haven't, to be honest with you. I truly haven't, sorry.
Appreciate your time.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you guys.